I had the honor to talk with the defenders in the DRC about my experience as a lawyer and how is the process to develop a record. And because this part is very important for any strategy that we can work or develop in defense and or recognition of the rights. In my presentation, I spoke about the UBA case and tried to use this important case in Latin America to show how the defenders need to be involved in the process to collect the good and clear evidence to submit before the courts. I believe to talk and to exchange or share with leaders the UBA case is very important because the UBA case is an example in which we can offer the knowledge and experience from the communities. And the UBA case had the opportunity to show the different problems in the territories and oil, gas exploitations, and the problems with the armed context and conflict, especially in Colombia. And also is a case in which there are problems in the territory because there are different mega projects in the territory. And this case is an example in which we can show another defenders and community how the leaders and people who are involved in the struggle for the defense and recognition for their rights can get on the information and how can collect evidence and how they can bring their evidence and to submit before the court. And this case represents a lot of the problems, similar problems in different contexts and regions. For example, the land territory overlap with national parks, and there are a lot of projects and exploitation like gas and oil, and there are conflicts between different arms or parties in Colombia and arms groups. For that reason, I consider this case represents or it can be a good example to support or to learn for other communities. I believe the UBA case is an opportunity for the Inter-American Court can have a good decision and judgment in which the judgment can recognize the concept and self-determination rights. And if that happens, it is very important for the other communities, not just in Latin America, but also across the world. I have experience working with different communities in Latin America, and I consider to networking and build capacity is those aspects that we need to encourage and to try to develop more. And in Africa or another context and region, I think it's very important to exchange and to learn about this process. I think one of the most valuable and important things is to connect people and try to develop a process in which each leader and community members can to exchange their own experience and connect, because there are a lot of and similar problems, similar contexts. They are dealing with the similar companies that they are working on exploitation, the natural resources and territories. And I believe the governments and states and companies exchange and share their strategies. And now is the time in which their communities and defenders try to enforce and improve their own experience and their own strategies. And the part of and one of the most important things is the process in which they can share and exchange each other, because the more value to defend the territory is to know about the experience, about the knowledge, and to try to improve their own strategy, being very creative. When we talk about the climate change and energy transition, we are talking about the poverty and rich and the natural resources. And one thing that we need to understand, and the people need to understand, is the people in the communities, in the territories, especially in the global south, they are suffering the consequences of the exploitation, the consequences of the capitalisms. And this way that to see the war is like to develop is not just money. And the communities have a lot of natural resources, and we need to understand, when we talk about the transition and the climate change, we are talking about these kind of things. How the world needs to protect the minerals and to protect the natural resources. When we talk about the energy transitions, it's not just about the minerals and how is the process to exploit new minerals. And one thing that we keep in mind is we can not permit to repeat the same way to the exploitation, and to recognize the leaders and communities have a lot of knowledge and experience in which we can do these transitions. But if we and the world same or continue working in the same way, we can lose all of the rich, and we can lose the minerals, and we can lose the possibilities to live and survive in the world. And I think it's the time to hear and to learn most about the communities and try to reinforce this idea to change the model, the model to see the world, the model to see and understand the nature.